I always hear people talking about open world games in a very positive way, never in a negative one, despite being one of the hardest genre of games to make correctly. For example, an open world needs a purpose, a reason to exist. It's not a simple feature that you can randomly add to a game. You have to carefully calculate every single design aspect. If you can't plan carefully, and there isn't a real meaningful purpose, every other aspect risks to fall apart. It doesn't matter if you create amazing cities, because if you don't study a good movement system for the map, and you will spend hours moving in a flat desert with nothing to do, the player will likely stop playing before even arriving at the city. An open world is usually pretty big, therefore, with space as such an important aspect, it makes sense that movement is a key factor in the success or failure of an open world game. For example, if you add complete teleportation from the beginning, allowing instant movement between every city and important places, it makes very little sense to have an open world in the first place. The player should be able to feel the open world, allowing the story and depth of the game to shine. This is also why it's important to place meaningful objects and places at a good distance between each other. You don't want the player to feel bored with nothing to do or see for a long period of time, but you don't want it to feel absolutely full of stuff. The world should be full of objects and NPCs at the right distance from each other, and everything should be placed in a way that adds depth to the game, allowing to create a meaningful pattern in every story and physical location of the game. For example, in a region of the world where it's lacking food, you should avoid to place food in the local store or market. Or maybe add some people acting like they're starving. Every player plays a game for a reason. If you want to be scared, you will go and play a horror game. If you want some action, you will play an FPS. If you want to experience a real open and deep world, you will play an open world. Make the time spent by the player on the game meaningful.